What's going on, guys? Happy Friday. In this video we are looking at the Prizepicks plays for January the 6th. We have 11 games and they do have a ton of props posted, so that I am happy about that. Yesterday's board went 3-3. I know the Mavs just didn't have it. They got blown out by the Celtics. So Luka missed, Christian Wood missed, and then Horford did have one turnover. Hit the over points on Jamal Murray. He was red hot early on in the game, and then basically both team starters played very few minutes, especially the Clippers side. Hit the over points and rebounds on Jason Tatum, and then the over points or the over assists and rebounds for Jaylen Brown also hit. So today, looking to do better than that, better than 3-3. Hopefully we can go 5-1 or 6-0 today to get us started for this weekend. As always, if you enjoy the videos, please share the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Have six more props I want to share with you guys today. If you want to follow on Twitter, it's at the DFS Process. Check out the website if you're looking for DraftKings FanDuel advice. First prop we're looking at is, there's a ton, I say. The points prop, that looks pretty good. Going with one of these. We're going back to New Orleans, and we're going back to Mr. CJ McCollum. His number is at 26.5 points. He has played pretty well in all these games without Zion Williamson. And then you don't expect, or he's at 25.5 without Zion Williamson, and don't expect Brandon Ingram to play, even though he's been practicing. Willie Green said he's not ready to take game action right now, so expect him to get ruled out at some point today. Maybe that'll make McCollum bump up a little bit. Got off to a fast start against Houston. He still gave you 28 points. Hit the over. It was at 24.5 early on. It went up by 1 point. It's against Brooklyn. They play fast. They just are super efficient. So teams, if you want to keep the game close against Brooklyn, they're going to have to keep up and score. So we wouldn't expect anybody except McCollum to really be aggressive for the Pelicans on offense. He's probably going to be free to take 25-plus shots. Took 21 last game, and didn't really give you a ton of peripherals. Think he might have just had 1 or 2 rebounds. Gave you, I believe, 6 assists. However, you can take his points, rebounds, and assists if you wanted to. But I really do like the points in what should be a good affair at home. So expecting the game to be closer. And just the way that he's been playing, he's shooting the 3 ball at a pretty good clip. And just going to get a lot of opportunities, missing, once again, Zion and Ingram. That's the first prop we're looking at. Next, we're going over to points, rebounds, and assists. There's a few that I'm looking at here. We're going back to Julius Randle. He let us down last game by just a few. But this time we're taking his PRA instead of points and rebounds. Last game, if you took Randall's fantasy, you hit because he gave you 7 stocks, 7 combined blocks and steals. And even though he missed it last game, he still took 26 shots. He's still playing 40-plus minutes. You're not getting too many studs that play this many minutes. The matchup is fine against Toronto. They play smaller sometimes with Siakam at the 5. And Randle should be able to continue to crash the boards. We've seen Mitchell Robinson get into more foul trouble lately, and because of that, his minutes have not been there every game. However, Randle's minutes, 41, 39, 38, 42, 44, 40, 38, 40. He's playing a ton of minutes without R.J. Barrett, who's been ruled out once again today. Even though Brunson is there, he had a great game last time out. Randle struggled a bit, shooting just 9 of 26. Back-to-back games under 40% shooting. But if he has at least a decent shooting game, he would have hit easily last game with his points and rebounds. And he's still going to chuck up a lot of threes. Early on this year against the Raptors, he gave you 30 points and 13 rebounds and a few assists mixed in there as well. If you look at his game log, obviously he's 4 out of his last 5. If you go before December 27th, he gave you 47 PRA against Philly. On the 25th, he gave you 44 PRA against Chicago the previous game. He gave you 47 previous game against Toronto. Missed it against Golden State. Missed it by 1 against the Pacers before that. But if you're going until December 21st, he's hit this in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of his last 8 games. And should be a close game against Toronto with both sides playing their starters a lot of minutes. Next, on the other side, you have Siakam, who I do like. If you wanted to take his over points and rebounds to do a mini game stack here or something like that, I think he definitely looks solid. For our third prop, we're sticking with this board, and we're going to Lamelo Ball. whose number is down. He's at 35.5 for some reason. He's continuing to, pretty much flirt with mid-30s to high 40s, or mid-30s, sometimes in the 40s. With his PRA, he gave you 39 last game. His number was at 38.5, and it was a bit of a little blowout, so he could have played a little bit better. Maybe the game could have been a little bit closer, got him a little bit more minutes, but he still got the job done at the end of the day. Now, they are on the road. It could be a blowout here against Milwaukee if you're worried about that. So he played 35 minutes last game. Typically, play like 36 to 37 plus. But he's like the only guy. Him and Rozier are starting to shoot better. Those two are going to have to take control of the offense and score and take most of the shots. He took 23 shots last game, just made 7 of them. But he still put up 23 points because he got to the free throw line 5 times and he made 4 threes. And with Gordon Hayward once again being doubtful today, they put in Jaden McDaniels instead of his place, and McDaniels not much of a shooter and a guy that's going to take a lot of high-volume shots. He can score a bit, but you still see Lamelo Ball check up 20-plus shots a game with having such a high usage rate. I expect him to dish out a bunch of assists. He had 12 last game, and he can flirt with the triple-double as well. So I don't know why his number is that low. Probably due to the blowout. Maybe some risk there, but I'm loving it. The one prop that I really like today is on the Atlanta Hawks side, and we are smashing John Collins' over 25.5 PRA. This one makes absolutely no sense to me why it is this low. A couple of reasons. One is that Capella is already listed as out for this contest, and he's missed a bunch of games recently. And the games that he's missed, John Collins has gone nuclear in most of them. He's playing huge minutes. Last game played 40 against Sacramento, played 39 the previous game. He was only played 23 against the Lakers because he was in foul trouble. So maybe if you're worried about that, but I'm really not gonna, really worry about that too much. Just gonna go with the guy in a great matchup, who's been playing really well, giving you a ton of rebounding opportunities without Capella there. 12 boards last game, 13 the previous game. He's had double-digit rebounds in 4 of his last 6 games, and the minutes have been north of 33 in 3 out of his last 4, except for the Lakers game where he just played 23 due to foul trouble. But if you gave him his normal, like 34, 30, or 33, 35, he would have got you close to 26. I don't know if he would have hit it over, but he's also been shooting better, and he's getting to the free throw line. So this number, what should be a high-scoring game, don't know why it's this low. We're sticking with this board, and we're going back to LeBron James. We haven't played him for a few times on the videos. We're going right back to LeBron today. He's done a great job against the Hawks over his career. He's also done a great job against them this year, where he had one of his best games with a 66 combined PRA, almost a monster triple-double. I think he missed it by maybe 1 rebound or 1 assist. But he's coming into this game with a few days off, missing with an ankle issue, so it might be a bit more refreshed. Another reason why is that the Lakers are shorthanded a bit with their role players. So Lonnie Walker is ruled out for this contest, as well as Austin Reeves, and that's going to lead to maybe LeBron playing even a few more extra minutes, but he's already playing like close to 40. But he's probably going to get you more usage and maybe some more shots. So he gave you a 47-10 rebound, 9 assist game last time out against the Hawks. Before that, he gave you 32, 8, and 9. That was beginning of January. He only played 11 minutes. He got hurt in the third game, most recent game against them. But before that, 21, 7, and 9, so he missed it. That was back in February of 2021. And then he smashed it the last 3 games with 32, 13, and 7, so that would have been 52 PRA. 33, 7, and 12, that would also be 52 PRA. And he gave you 28, 11, and 16, also smashed it. So if you look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of his most recent games against the Hawks, basically 6 because one game he just played 11 minutes. He's been well over this number in 5 out of the 6. And he's shooting really well, shooting 60+% last couple of games. Hopefully that missing couple days off doesn't make him come out rusty, which I don't really expect. And they're also at home in the Lakers arena, so it should be hopefully a closer game. We've seen LeBron and Lakers company do at times. They play well at home. So I got some other props that you can definitely look to, like Vooch over 30. Actually, I like his points and rebounds better at 27.5. Kyrie Irving, once again, at 35.5. He's been hitting it. He's been right at this number basically every single game. I like that one as well. You have Giannis, who I didn't even touch on. He's at 32 and a half or 33 and a half points. He also looks great today, just because the matchup is so soft. Did he take off his points? He's right there. 33 and a half points for Giannis, I think looks great without Middleton once again. But we are going to points and rebounds. We're going to a guy going up against his former team. Should have some revenge maybe on his mind. We're going to Nikola Vucevic, 27 and a half points and rebounds. He's just been a monster on the glass. Joel Embiid is listed out for this contest, so it's a much better matchup for Vooch and the Bulls in terms of rebounding. They're going to be going up against... They started PJ Tucker at the 5, which, you know, how undersized he is. And then they played Montrezl Harrell at the 5, also off the bench, which also undersized, definitely, compared to most centers in this league, especially compared to Embiid. And Vooch will have a few inches on him. He's also just been shooting more, and he's been more consistent than Zach LaVine recently. So that's led him to play big minutes. He's already been playing pretty solid minutes every single game. He's not a center that gets into foul trouble too often. So against Brooklyn last game, he gave you 34 with 21 and 13. Gave you 33 against Cleveland the previous game with 20 and 13. That game did go into overtime. He missed it the previous game against Cleveland. Then he gave you 28 or 27 against, 28 against the Pistons, 29 against Milwaukee. He's given you 13 plus rebounds in 4 out of his last 5 games. And he's hit this number, if you go back to like December 18th, he's hit this in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, out of basically 9 games. So I think that he'll still continue to stay hot. With the points, he scored over 20 in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of his last 10 games as well. And the rebounds have been there a good amount of the time. So really like Vooch, over 27 and a half points and rebounds. His number at points, rebounds, and assists is like 30 and a half, which I think his points and rebounds looks a little bit better. He's had some low assist games at times. Like typically he'll give you like 2 to 4. Sometimes if he gives you like 2, I'd rather just get to his points and rebounds instead. But that's what I got today for you guys on Prize Picks. Over 25 and a half points, CJ McCollum. Over 42 and a half points, rebounds, and assists for Julius Randle. Over 35 and a half points, rebounds, and assists, Lamelo Ball. 25 and a half over PRA. John Collins over 47 and a half PRA. LeBron James and over 27 and a half points and rebounds for Nick Vucevic. I don't know about you, but this looks pretty good to me. Hopefully 6-0 is on the horizon. Best of luck. Let me know what you guys think if you have other props to look at, and I'll catch you all next time.